excited to have as our first guest of our Cruising Alaska podcast, Liz Perry from Travel Juneau. Liz is an amazing woman. She's a friend of mine and a lady I've gotten to work with quite a bit. We've taken this show on the road. One of the ways that Travel Juneau has been a big support to our company and many others is she provides, they book travel shows and let small companies like us buy just portions of the cost. And it really helps us market ourselves, and we have a lot of fun out there on the road as well.
We do.
And thank you so much for being here and for all that you do to support us here in Juneau.
Well, thank you for having me. We really enjoy having Juneau Tours and Whale Watch as a partner of Travel Juneau, and being able to provide that marketing exposure that a lot of small companies really rely on.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other reason I'm super excited to have you here is I have so many friends, travel professionals out there that want to bring groups to Alaska. And this is my chance to introduce my friends to my friend. And this lady can help you. And over the next several minutes, she's going to give us all sorts of nuggets of wisdom. But first of all, I want to back up because I want you to know this amazing woman. So tell us just a little bit about yourself, Liz.
I have lived in Juneau for about 13 years. We originally came up from the Midwest, Southeast Missouri, so I moved from one Southeast to another Southeast. And I have been with Travel Juneau for 6 years and have been CEO for 3. So my family lives up here. I have a husband and 2 sons up here, and we just love it.
You didn't mention your dogs.
I have no dogs.
You have no dogs?
I'm one of the few Juneauites that have no dogs.
How did you even get this job if you don't have dogs?
That's a great question. Although we do have an office dog, so we share.
Oh, that's right. Actually, that office dog is going to come visit me in a week or 2.
That's right.
Great. Well, let's get going and sharing some of this important info. First thing is, tell me a little bit about sort of the mission of Travel Juneau.
Travel Juneau's mission is to market Juneau to conventions, groups, and to independent travelers. So in that vein, we do our best to keep Juneau top of mind for the traveling public, market all over the world through our website, through our travel guide, and through opportunities, as you mentioned, through travel shows, working with tour operators to get the word out about all of the fabulous things that people can do when they're in Juneau. So we want to provide also opportunities for small operators to grow their business by bringing more independent travelers and cruisers into town.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, what's one of your most Alaska moments where you were like, okay, this is real, I'm in Alaska?
I actually have 2. One is I was onboarding a new staff member. We were taking a hike out toward the glacier. I looked over to my right, and there was a juvenile bear feeding about 15 to 20 feet off the trail. My staff had no idea, and I said, hey, look to your right, and she stopped, and I almost had to carry her the rest of the way out. So that was a really good Alaska moment. Another Alaska moment was one time.
That's quite a job interview there.
It was.
How do you react in the presence of a bear?
If you can, yeah, you're in. That and any one of a number of things. The other really Alaskan experience was being out on our fishing boat. We have just a small recreational boat, and we were going around North Shelter Island, and a whale fluked so close to the boat we could have reached out and touched it. We were just motoring very, very slowly, just trolling along. That was one of our best Alaska moments.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great. So why do you think Alaska cruises are so popular? Like, why Alaska?
There is such a mystique about the state itself, and I think the Inside Passage, just because of its remoteness and its general beauty, being in all of these fjords, these thousands of small islands, these forested coastlines, it makes it a place unto itself. So I believe that it is just a function of the natural beauty, and for Juneau, being nestled right up against the Tongass National Rainforest is a really wonderful asset for us. And there's just so much to do up here too, recreationally and artistically.
Yes. And when it comes to cruising in Alaska, why is Juneau so important?
Juneau is the biggest port in Alaska. It's the biggest town. We are the capital city for the entire state. And this is a turnaround point for small cruises. It is a major disembarkation point for the major cruises. So practically everyone who comes up on a cruise to Alaska stops in Juneau. So it is economically important for the city, and I think as the capital city, it's an important stop for people coming to Alaska.
So what are some things, if we're talking about groups specifically, what are some reasons why Juneau also is so good for groups?
Well, one reason is that Travel Juneau exists. If a person is organizing a group, and whether that is a small group, a family, or a small get-together, a reunion, for example, Travel Juneau can help make referrals to get those folks out on the excursions and the experiences that they want to have while they're in Southeast Alaska. So we can really help smooth that pathway out in making those plans and get them off on the right foot.
So what are the top 3 things that people do in Juneau?
The Mendenhall Glacier has to be one of the top excursions that we refer people to. The glacier, of course, is retreating, and it itself has become kind of a bucket item list for a lot of people coming into town. But it is just spectacular in its own right, and it is just a real hallmark of our past. There are a lot of cultural icons out there as well, lots of wildlife viewing, and it is just so spectacular. It is a must-see destination in town. So that would be one of the first things that we would refer people to.
You gotta go.
You gotta go, exactly.
So that's number 1. What do you say, what is another one?
I would say, if possible, get out on the water. If the opportunity hasn't arisen for them to see wildlife out on the water, orcas, the humpback whales, sea lions, harbor seals, the whole multitude of animals that you can see up close, that would be another piece that I would definitely suggest to them. Thirdly, is to take advantage of Juneau's art scene. We have tremendous talent in Juneau. We have a number of galleries that feature local artists, Alaskan Native artists, and there is just the possibility of seeing artists at work and really getting the full experience there as well. We also have an award-winning state museum in town. Brand new, it's only been open a couple of years, and it's already won awards for its design and for its displays. It has the whole range of Alaska experiences, history, art, and artifacts from all over the state that include not only the gold rush history, but certainly great displays of our Alaskan Native history.
That's true. I really like the new renovation of the little square downtown by the clock, and the fact that there's even Tlingit art on the street.
On the street. Heritage Square, right there at the corner of Seward and Main, has just been redone. And I believe Juneau is making great strides in incorporating a lot more Northwest Coast art, form line, and really paying close attention and honoring the Alaskan Native heritage in the area.
I actually think I heard that per capita, Alaska has more professional, like people making a living off their art, than any other state?
I would say
it's way up there.
It's very high up there, and I have to give credit to organizations like Sea Alaska Heritage Institute that have really made great strides in creating programming and education opportunities throughout the region to train artists in the arts of form line, weaving, the whole range of artistic endeavors that the tribes have undertaken over millennia.
I think in the future we're going to need to do a podcast on Alaskan art, for sure.
I would say so.
Because we could talk about that a lot. So now, remember, we're talking to travel professionals who are trying to organize groups. So what are some things that you can maybe warn them about, and then also recommend when it comes to herding cats in Alaska?
Well, first, don't lose track of your cats, because once they get dispersed, if you don't know where they are, it's an easy place to get lost in. Fortunately, Juneau itself is very walkable, and I would just suggest to your, to your group planners out there, do get in touch with Travel Juneau. We can provide a lot of materials, a lot of advice, a lot of referrals to help get that maps to get that planning started. Find out what capacities are if you've got a large group and we need to disperse them throughout the city in different excursions. We can help out with that as well. But also do your homework in terms of which lines stop in Juneau on what days, and take advantage of those days if possible when we may have fewer ships in town and you just get a little bit less crowded experience. We can help out with that as well. And making referrals for excursions that can handle groups of all sizes. So if you have a group of 5, and depending on what their price points are, we can assist with that.
And if you have a group of 105,
we can assist with making recommendations for getting them dispersed. Juneau is so compact, and this is something that a lot of people don't recognize. We have passengers that come into our visitor center and they ask, where is downtown? And then we say, you have arrived. So the group planners need to recognize that Juneau is very compact. It's very walkable. It is basically a stone's throw from the docks to the heart of downtown, and many of the things that their clients are going to want to see, and they are just steps away from boarding the shuttles and so forth onto their excursions. And we can help put all of that into perspective.
You've done a lot on your website to make it really user-friendly. You have tons of information on there. I feel like every year you're doing some kind of upgrade, which I really admire about Travel Juneau.
We try to keep everything as refreshed as possible, and of course, things change. Businesses open up, businesses shift. And the city comes in and they will, change streets and all sorts of infrastructure pieces as well. And fortunately, we are in the loop with the city, and we can alert your planners to construction that's happening and other things that they need to take in. Which is
always happening.
It's always happening, and but they need to take that into consideration when providing shuttle service back and forth and timing excursions and other experiences for their clients.
Awesome. There's so much to talk about when it comes to Juneau, and I really appreciate you coming and sharing these things, but you got to go check out Travel Juneau.
TravelJuneau.com can really help you on the way to planning. We offer maps. We have full listings of all of our partners, and don't hesitate to give us a call. Our number is on the website, 888-586-2201, and you will talk to a real person. Even if you have to leave a message, you will get called back by a real, honest-to-goodness person who's been trained to answer your questions.
Yep, that's true. I've experienced that. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for letting me be part of this.
Come on up and visit us, and definitely give Liz a call. Check out their beautiful website and all the incredible information on there. And let's do this.
Let's
Come on up
go.
to Alaska.
Thank you.